Hello, and welcome to our first of 6 information sessions on the topic of industrial hemp for Indigenous businesses. These information sessions are brought to you by the Indigenous Chamber of Commerce of Ontario in partnership with the Taykwa-Tagamu Nation of New Post Reserve. In this information session, we will be talking about the history of hemp in ancient times, historical uses of hemp versus marijuana, and the future of industrial hemp. My name is Keith Wilson, and I would like to talk today about the history of industrial hemp. Hemp has been in cultivation since ancient times. First recorded cultivation and usage of hemp products was approximately 5,000 years ago in China. Hemp was probably the earliest plant cultivated for textile fiber. Archaeologists have discovered a fragment of hemp cloth in ancient Mesopotamia, which dates back to 8000 BC. It is also believed to be the oldest example of human industry. It is believed that hemp made its way to Europe around 1200 BC, and from there it spread throughout the ancient world. Hemp is similar to bamboo in that it is a very fast-growing plant, reaching maturity within a few months, especially in warm climates. However, much research has been done over hundreds of years to develop strains more suitable for cultivation in cooler environments. Hemp has been used as a medicine across the world for centuries. Ancient medicines refer to the curative value of the leaves, seeds, and roots. The seeds and flowers were recommended for difficult childbirth, convulsions, arthritic joints, and insomnia. Hemp has also been critical in the development of new technologies down through the ages. For instance, the Chinese made paper using hemp fibers. In approximately 150 BC, the Chinese produced the world's first paper made completely from hemp. The oldest documents written on paper are from the 2nd and 3rd centuries, made of a combination of bark and old rags, principally hemp. Another ancient civilization, the Egyptians, claimed to be the first to make paper using the papyrus reeds growing along the banks of the Nile River. Hence, we get the word paper from papyrus. However, the Chinese paper was much stronger due to the characteristics of the hemp fiber. Hemp fiber gets its strength from the very long fibers, much longer than wood or most other plants. These long fibers were spun into exceedingly strong threads. These threads were then woven into cloth or sails and ropes. Because hemp fiber has a natural defense against mold and mildew, it gained universal usage in the wet environment of ships and boats. The durability and strength of these products then accelerated the technology of sailing ships, which helped the Europeans explore the world. Sailing ships became dependent on canvas, rooted from the word cannabis, and hemp rope, because it was 3 times stronger than cotton and resistant to salt water. During this period, hemp was a major crop, and up until the 1920s, 80% of clothing was made from hemp textiles. Durable clothing was of utmost importance in the pre-industrial age, and much hemp grown in Europe at that time was devoted to manufacturing cloth. This picture is of the city of Nimes in France. This was one of the largest centers of the hemp industry in Europe. In the mid-1800s, hemp cloth dyed blue was produced there. A large quantity of this blue cloth was purchased by a tailor and shipped to San Francisco. There, he used the cloth to produce heavy-duty clothing for the gold rush miners. This cloth from Nimes was called de Nimes in French, or denim in English, and the tailor's name was Levi Strauss. Growing hemp was an industry so critical to society that it was mandated by the country's governments. New World settlers were given seeds, and so hemp came to North America. But the Industrial Revolution changed everything. Steamships replaced sailing ships, and international trade expanded exponentially. Tropical substitutes for hemp, such as manila, sisal, and jute, were soon discovered and imported. Steel cables and synthetic rope allowed much greater load-carrying applications. New mechanical cotton processing machinery provided cheap cotton fibers for clothing. A growing middle class of non-agricultural workers didn't need or want durable clothing. Fashion, not function, took over. But new uses for hemp fiber were constantly being found. It is estimated that there have been over 25,000 products derived from the hemp plant.
In 1941, Henry Ford made a car grown from the soil that used bioplastic panels with impact strength 10 times greater than steel. Hemp was one of several plant ingredients in the bioplastic car. These bioplastic panels were made from flax, wheat, spruce pulp, and hemp.
Today, hemp fiber is increasingly being used in the automotive parts industry for many components and body panels because of the above properties. Marijuana is a strain of the cannabis plant containing a high concentration of THC, which induces a pleasant state of mind, or so I'm told. Industrial hemp, on the other hand, is a strain of cannabis that has much lower levels of THC and is currently mandated in Canada to be less than 0.3%. In 1934, the United States of America decided that cannabis induces reefer madness, and a total prohibition was enforced. There is a film of the same name if you want to check that out. Unfortunately, they applied this prohibition to all hemp strains, not just marijuana. Hemp continued to be cultivated outside of North America, but there was little market for the large range of products. To be clear, marijuana and hemp are both cannabis plants, but using hemp as a recreational drug is a waste of time. With the legalization of cannabis in a few enlightened areas of the world, growing hemp has once again become an attractive business proposition. New strains are constantly being developed, and old agricultural knowledge and practices are being revived and updated. And there is a new green future for hemp. Hemp fibers are biodegradable and can be a raw material to make plastic. By replacing fossil fuels in making plastic, there are climate change mitigation and environmental benefits. This could help reduce oil spills, destruction of forests and rivers, and can help reduce the toxic fumes that come from the processing of plastic. They can be used to make construction materials, for example, composite panels, high-efficiency concrete, or as a fiberglass substitute. Remember Henry Ford? This is a renewable resource for so many useful things that could cut repair and maintenance costs for construction projects. Because of the low lignin content, the pulping process to make paper from hemp is greatly simplified. Lignin is the cellular glue that holds the hemp plant together and makes it tough to make paper. Since hemp has low lignin content, it is less troublesome than wood. We will go into more detail in our 6th session about hemp fiber processing.
These seeds can be harvested, cleaned, packaged, and sold as a health food, either raw or roasted. The seeds can also be crushed to extract the oil, much like any other seed-based oil, like canola, corn, and olive oil. Hemp seed oil contains many nutritious compounds and can be eaten, for example, in a salad dressing, and may be used in cosmetic or personal hygiene products. It may also be used as a carrier oil for CBD, which is extracted from the plant's flowers, leaves, and stems. Hemp seed oil can also be processed into a biofuel, similar to ethanol from corn.
The whole plant, or any waste, can be chopped and used as a cellulosic insulation with high moisture resistance and fire rating. Hemp has many benefits when used as an insulation choice. It is non-toxic, reduces sound transmission, and is very resistant to pests. Hempcrete is a biocomposite material, a mixture of hemp herds, or shives, and lime. The fiber can be used as a concrete filler or binder to make strong, lightweight concrete blocks or panels. Hempcrete contains many properties that concrete lacks. For instance, the use of hemp in and of itself will result in a carbon-neutral product. Hempcrete walls are fireproof, mold-resistant, transmit humidity, and they have an excellent acoustic performance ability. The seeds can be ground down into making plant protein, and they are considered a complete protein source. Hemp seeds contain almost as much protein as soybeans. In every 30 grams, there are 9.5 grams of protein. They are also a great source of iron. Pelletizing of the waste from all these processes, or even the whole plant, will also produce a saleable biofuel for pellet stoves. Hemp pellets burn hotter than wood pellets and produce less ash. If at all possible in any operation, you must try to convert your waste from a negative on your bottom line, for example landfill, into a positive. Thank you so much for joining me today to talk about hemp history for our first of 6 information sessions. Hopefully, you've learned a little bit more about the history of hemp in ancient times, historical uses of hemp, hemp versus marijuana, and the future of hemp. These information sessions are brought to you by the team at ICCO in partnership with the Tequah Tagamu Nation. My name is Keith Wilson. Thanks again for joining, and stay tuned for the second session, which will be about the agriculture of hemp.